Hey, how are you? If you like music and are interested in supporting bands, this video can guide you and help you do this in a slightly more professional way. What is a record label? The label works as a manager that coordinates and guides the interested party's musical project. When creating your label, you can work in a simpler way with a certain partnership, being directly involved and doing everything yourself, from the cover of an album to the distribution of releases, or you can work in a more complete, complex, and professionalized way, implementing timelines and budgets, including marketing and planning tours. You need to be clear about what you want to achieve, decide whether to do physical or digital media or both, and make sure you're ready to get involved with administration and commit to the musicians. Define the genre you want to work in. This will give you an idea for a logo to be created. Then identify the correct audience. You need to find out what style they like most and how they find these songs. To stand out, we suggest you have an effective presence in your local music scene and get to know the bands that are arousing people's interest. An example of this is the comment made on this album by The Lawrence Arms. You can sign contracts with your friends' bands and support the bands you believe in. Complete all legal procedures. You need to register your label. Seek help from a specialist to find out how to track your expenses and income. It is difficult to make significant profits at the beginning. Moreover, your ambition will define the amount of money you will need to invest. In addition to the first batch of records, you will have to pay some legal and installation fees. You need to set a budget for how much you can invest in any launch and try to stick to it. Most small independent labels only sell somewhere around 500 to 1,500 copies of their first releases. Labels often take on many of the responsibilities that independent musicians have. Most contracts place the label responsible for marketing, manufacturing, and distribution. The band usually doesn't receive any payment until the label has recouped the money invested, although you may have to pay mechanical royalties to the songwriter or agree to a split of the net profits. Choose a duration period for your contract. It may cover the release of an album that has already been recorded, the recording and release of a new album, or multiple albums in the coming years. Organize the licensing rights details such as the percentage of royalties and sales the label will receive for its investment in the band, and perhaps how much you would charge to sell the band to a larger label. To collect a band's mechanical and publishing royalties, a label needs to license its artists' publishing rights. This is quite common nowadays and is usually part of your contract with the band. You then need to register the seal with the applicable collection society in your country. The masterization. You can do professional mastering with analog equipment or artificial intelligence. Material distribution. Make sure you or the artist have your album cover art organized well in advance. Not only does this ensure your production schedule is on time, but it also means you care about establishing a relationship between the artist and an image. With the help of the internet, it is easy to find companies that offer partnerships and plans to allow for wider distribution of their musicians' work. You can also contact local independent record stores to arrange physical distribution with them. You'll need to build a name for yourself and convince them that your music is the kind of thing they want to sell in their store. Use a digital distributor to organize your digital media sales. Launch and promotion strategies. Many independent labels prefer to spend their money on promotion rather than advances. But as this video is from a channel focused on punk rock, we suggest you use your creativity and attitudes. Another strategy for promoting your artists is the distribution of t-shirts and stickers. Some tips for you. An online presence is a strong ally for publicity. You can work simultaneously with YouTube, Instagram, Bandcamp, Spotify, and others. The independent approach is very popular in punk rock. Even so, let artists know that when they sign contracts and get their label stamped, it is a guarantee that they will have a quality, creative, and perhaps controversial album. When you consider that your label has a significant number of artists, it's always a good idea to do a compilation release. If you choose to work with a music producer, you will need to enter into a separate contract with them. Any physical product made to be sold needs to be registered correctly. You must ensure during the mastering process that the tracks include the necessary metadata such as artist details and album name. It's interesting to have all the material ready a few months before releasing it. If you are a music enthusiast, especially the genre chosen to work, this will facilitate the development of your project. But if you are an enthusiast and already have a band with a certain notoriety, such as Bad Religion, at the beginning of its career, like when Mr. Brett created Epitaph, this will help even more. Help spread punk rock. Now, it's up to you.
I devil with a battered